Hi everyone, my name's Josh, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to take a look at the brand new Wagner FinishControl 5500 XVLP. When you order a FinishControl 5500 from us, you'll receive the main turbine itself, a 5-metre air hose with a built-in gun handle, a selection of cleaning brushes, a fine and coarse filter for spraying different types of products, a standard spray attachment, and we're also currently giving away a fine spray attachment with every order of this machine. The FinishControl 5500 is the replacement unit for the very popular and very reliable FinishControl 5000, which is personally one of my favourite XVLP or HVLP sprayers, as the performance far outweighs the price tag and offers brilliant value for money. As you can see, the new unit is nicely designed, it's really compact, it's going to make it really easy to pack up and move from job to job. Also coming in at only 6.6 kilos, it's nearly 1.5 kilos lighter than its predecessor. If you haven't heard about XVLP, it's a very similar concept to HVLP but with a bit more volume behind it. So HVLP stands for high volume low pressure, so this refers to a high volume of air at a low pressure, so we aren't creating as much overspray as we would with, say, an airless machine. XVLP stands for extra volume low pressure, so we're still operating at well below 10 psi, but with more volume to atomise that material a little bit more, which gives us a really nice finish with minimal overspray and paint wastage. If you're interested, I've also made another video on the FinishControl 3500 XVLP handheld, which there'll be a link to in the description below and at the end of this video, so if you haven't seen that one yet, check it out after this video. The newer 5500 and the older 5000 are a bit more like conventional HVLP systems, where we've got a remote turbine, then a hose that feeds our gun with our air supply. The turbine on the 5500 has a lower motor power rating of just 1150 watts compared to the 1400 watts we get with the 5000. Despite that, the newer system outperforms the 5000 by producing an operating pressure of 4.2 psi, which is a 7% increase, all whilst running it with a smaller motor, therefore it's more efficient and cheaper to run. The 5500 has all the same features we've come to expect with the 5000, but with a couple of extra changes that really take it to the next level. One of the features that have stayed the same are the brilliantly designed twist-off front end attachments, so these make it super easy to clean out, super easy to switch between different paints or different colours. They have had a slight revision though, so we'll run through the details of that in a second. To remove the spray attachment, we simply pull down a small clip, twist the spray attachment 90 degrees and pull the front end off towards the front of the gun. Then to reattach, we simply line up the arrows on the gun, push it together and then twist back 90 degrees until it clicks back into position. When using the system, it's really important to pull the trigger in those two stages. So the first stage we're pulling it, we're going to start up the turbine and let that get up to speed before pulling it all the way. If you don't, what you'll find is you're going to dump a load of paint into a slow airflow, which won't then fully atomise, and therefore you're going to get a big spit of paint on whatever it is you're spraying. This works because there's a signal trigger wire which is actually built into the hose itself, and it runs all the way up to the gun. And you can see the connection for that here. This is a great feature because it's reducing unnecessary noise, wasted energy, and it also means you don't have to walk over to the machine once you finish spraying and physically turn it off. Right, so onto the improvements. First up, we've got the newly designed spray attachments, which give us the same level of atomisation as we've come to expect with the old ones on the 5000 unit, but they've been assembled with fewer components, meaning it's easier to take it apart, give it a clean and put it back together again. As with the old system, there are still 3 front ends available, so that's the standard we've got here with a 4.1mm slot shaped nozzle and a 1 litre cup, and that comes with every turbine system. Then we've got the 1.8mm 1 litre fine spray attachment, and we're currently giving that away with every purchase of the machine. You can also get a 4.1mm slot shaped wall spray attachment, and that comes with a 1.4 litre pot specifically designed for spraying walls with emulsion. All of the attachments are fine with both water and solvent based paints, and if you've already got an XVLP and want to upgrade it, don't worry, all your current attachments will still fit the new gun on the 5500. Another improvement we have with all the new attachments is the nice, easy and robust fan control, so you can adjust the size of your spray pattern really quickly whilst you're spraying. It's also quicker to switch between vertical and horizontal fan patterns, as we now don't have to undo the retaining ring, we can just simply turn the cap 90 degrees. Another big change we've got is the filters in the turbine itself. With the old model we had one filter drawn from the back of the machine, and on the 5500 we've got dual filtration which sucks in from either side of the machine. And crucially, we've now got a light which will illuminate, which will tell us when the filters are blocked and require changing, and that will keep the machine working as it should. Wagner have also thought about storage with this unit, and they now give us this handy storage compartment to store our spare filters, cleaning brushes, fluid filters, cut gaskets, or whatever it is we might need, and it saves us from losing anything. As with any HVLP or XVLP system, we may be required to thin our paint slightly, especially with those thicker materials like your furniture coating, stuff like that. This could be anywhere from 5 to 20%. Nothing to be concerned about, perfectly normal. It's just going to help us atomise our paint a little bit better. You'll notice we got a choice of 2 filters, so we've got the red or the white one. The red filter is a fine filter, and we're going to use this mainly with the fine spray attachment with our thinner materials, and the white one will be mostly used with our standard or wall spray attachments for thicker products. Setting up the FC5500 is a very simple process. All we need to do is pour the paint into our cup, secure the cup onto our chosen spray attachment, and ensure the suction tube, gasket and filter are all in place. Next, when setting up, we need to push our air hose onto the front of the turbine, noting the orientation of the electrical connectors and ensuring that they're at the bottom. When pushing the hose in, you'll hear a click which lets you know you fitted it correctly and securely. Now we're ready to turn on the power button and we're ready to get spraying, but before we do that we must ensure that we're wearing all the correct PPE for the product we're spraying and the environment we're spraying in. So that could include a mask, coveralls, safety glasses and ear protection. Once we're all kitted up and ready to spray, we can turn on the machine and choose whether we want a wide or a narrow fan pattern for the job we're doing. Then we adjust our fluid and air control to around the 8 mark to get us started. The fluid control is adjusted by rotating the coloured ring on the spray attachment, and the air is adjusted by simply turning the dial on the top of the gun handle. You'll then need to do some fine tuning to get the spray pattern exactly as you want it. I usually find that having the air set at around 2 points higher than the fluid is where I end up getting a fan pattern that I'm happy with, but this is completely dependent on the product we're spraying. Don't forget to pull the trigger in 2 stages and let that turbine get up to speed, otherwise we'll end up with that big spit of paint I mentioned earlier. Another little piece of advice would be, when using this, don't tilt the gun back more than 45 degrees, as the material from our pot can backtrack down our spray attachment and into the hose, so keep an eye on that if you're spraying the underside of anything like a table or if you're spraying sealants. So that's the FinishControl 5500 XVLP, perfect for both water and solvent based products. And with the remote turbine you can get the gun into tighter spots than you can with the handheld unit. Having a remote turbine is also a lot lighter to use for long periods of time, and being XVLP it also creates very little overspray, so requires minimal masking, and you can keep your project efficient because you're only going to need small amounts of material to get spraying. Wagner themselves have also backed this unit with the same massive 5-year warranty on the turbine itself, which comprises of 3 years as standard plus another 2 years once you register the unit with Wagner directly. I'll put a link in the description below to where you can register. The only thing that isn't covered is the front end spray attachments themselves because they're considered to be wearing parts. Well, I hope this video has been useful, and I'll put a link in the description below to the FC5500, so if you wanted to find out more you can check it out there. If you've liked the video and found it helpful, then please hit the thumbs up icon, and if you wanted to find out more and get access to exclusive offers, then please subscribe to the channel. Also, if you can hit the notification bell, so that way you get notification when we upload a new video. That way you aren't going to miss out on any new offers or content. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.